Exploring your genealogy can tell you who you are and where you came from.
For Black Americans, this search could fill in the blanks left by the history of slavery and racism here in America. 17's Michaela Armstrong joins us tonight with a deeper dive into this with a story of one local woman who did just that. Michaela?
Many don't know where to start to find answers about their family history, but this Bakersfield woman says finding out hers changed her life.
Tell me a little bit about what it's been like for you, at least finding things out about your family here.
After more than 20 years researching her family's origin in America and locally in Bakersfield.
Yeah, it's been good.
72-year-old Catherine Jordan says many of the answers were right before her.
Census, or you get it through the obituary, or if you get it through passing of conversations of stories from family to family.
Jordan worked with her family, the Genealogical Society, and the History Room at the Beale Library to connect her family tree, and says finding this information has brought new joy to her life.
Oh, I was excited. I was able to find my dad's family, my mother's family, and the more I start searching, I collected a binder that big of information with obituaries, with pictures of grave sites, pictures of all this was very important to have. So I was very excited.
One of the most shocking details during her search was learning more about her own family's past as enslaved people in this country, especially about her great-great-grandfather.
He was listed as a property and not as like a cattle. You know, and he had a number. He had a price that he was worth. Every person was worth on a certain amount of money, you know, and being that he was an older gentleman, he was 85 years old. He was listed at $110. And most of the males back then might have been listed as $200 or $300.
So they became a unit as such.
Kathy Walker, president of the Kern County Genealogical Society, says helping Black individuals find their lineage is not simple or easy.
Now, the records are sparse. I mean, there's no question about that. It becomes extremely difficult, and you gather all the information you can for the location you're studying, and then you start putting together a jigsaw puzzle.
But to help, Walker says she uses documents like newspaper clippings, slave schedules from the early to late 1800s that list enslaved people by age and their owners, and the census that individually named former slaves for the first time in 1870.
You're going to use 1870, 1880 as your known, and then start looking for those names and ages as you move backwards. It's not easy because you're going to find that somebody out there has the very same name you do and is living in the very same place you were. So now how are you going to tell the two people apart? And that we tease that one out a lot. But it's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge.
The Genealogical Society says only a few Black people come in to learn more about family history, but says they've seen the impact of their work, like helping one Black Kern resident find his mother.
And we found a picture of his mother that he'd never seen. So it's nice when you can do that, and it makes you feel good when you can produce something that they don't know about.
Jordan hopes more take advantage and says learning more about your history and passing it on to the younger generation is more important now than ever.
Yeah, we gotta care. We want to know the history. Because if we don't learn about the history, it'll come back and bite us again. So it's very important that we learn about our history and learn about our community.
You can find the Genealogical Society or the History Room at the Beale Library, and both have resources to help you find your family history. Michaela Armstrong, 17 News.